Welcome to the science lesson, force, work and energy. Now when we push something, that is force. When we lift something, that is work. And now when I am talking, I need energy. Very simple terms, force, work and energy. Now when I push something, I am using force. And when I lift something, or when I take a table from one place to another place, I am doing work. And when I am talking, I am using energy. So let's start with the lesson, force, work and energy. What is force? You see the picture, a man pulling a trolley and a girl kicking a ball. Look at the picture given below. Anna is kicking the ball, Paul is pulling the trolley. The ball and the trolley are moving because of a push or a pull. Now the ball cannot move by itself, it's a non-living object, nor can the trolley move by itself because it's a non-living object. So that movement of the ball moving and the trolley moving is given by the girl and the boy, that is by Anna and Paul. The push or pull that acts on a body is called force. Force makes an object move. So a book cannot move by itself. You push the book, it moves. A table doesn't move by itself. You push the table, it moves. So force makes an object move. Ask your friend to roll a ball toward you. What do if you have to stop it or change the direction of the ball? You apply force. Now suppose a friend rolls a ball to you. How do you stop the ball? You apply force and stop the ball. So what you are applying is force to stop the ball or change the direction of the ball. Force can stop or change the direction of a moving body. Next page, page 190. Use plasticine clay, that is modeling clay, to make different shapes. You have to apply force to change the shape of the clay. Now suppose you make an apple with a modeling clay. Then you have to put force to change the shape of the modeling clay that is made into an apple to make it into a mango. Thus, force can change the shape and size of some things. Sometimes force can change the size and shape of things. Now coming to the different kinds of force, we have muscular force, we have force of gravitation and we have force of friction. Three types of force: muscular force, force of gravitation or gravitational force, and force of friction or frictional force. Now let us see the different types. You see the first one, a rubber band is being stretched. When you stretch a rubber band, you are using muscular force. With your fingers you stretch the rubber band. So that is using the force of the fingers, that is known as muscular force. What happens when you throw a ball up in the air? It falls on the ground after some time. The ball falls because the earth pulls it toward itself. The pull of the earth is called the force of gravity. Now you see, whenever you throw a ball, it comes down. The leaves from trees, they always fall to the ground, they don't go up into the sky. Now that is because of the force of gravitation. The force of gravitation attracts all objects towards the earth. Now that is also a particular type of force that attracts all objects towards the earth. The third type of force. A third type of force opposes movement. This force is called force of friction. It is due to this force that a rolling ball comes to a stop on its own after some time. Now if you roll a ball on the ground, you will find the ball rolls for some time and then it stops. Nobody stops it, the ball stops by itself. It is because of the frictional force. The ball faces friction when it is moving on the ground, and that friction of the ground with the ball automatically stops the movement of the ball. So we have three types of forces. One is muscular force, one is gravitational force and one is frictional force. Now coming to what is work.
Work. We see so many people doing different things around us every day. Our friend Karan here is trying to help these men by pushing a heavy rock stuck in the center of the ground. After trying for a long time, Karan says he is very tired as he has done a lot of work pushing the rock. One of the men tells Karan that he has not done any work as the rock has not moved. Karan is surprised. Let us find out the reason. In the language of science, work is said to be done only when an object moves on applying force. When the force applied is unable to make the object move, no work is said to be done. That is why Karan was said to have not done any work, as the rock did not move. But when the force applied on an object makes the object move, work is said to be done. Look at this girl, pulling a box. The girl is applying a lot of force, but the box is just too heavy and does not move. So even if the girl is tired after pulling the box, she has actually not done any work. Now the girl is riding her bicycle. She is applying force on the pedals, and as a result of this, the bicycle moves. In this case, work is done when the girl applies force. So now you know that just the application of force does not mean that work is done.
The meaning of work is, as used in science, is different from the everyday use of the word. Work is said to be done when a push or pull moves an object through a distance. Thus, we do work when we push a chair, lift a pencil, play cricket or run. So whenever you are talking, you are playing, you are lifting a pencil, you are lifting a chair, lifting a table, you are doing work. We do not do any work if we stand at one place, even though we may be carrying a heavy load on our head. But if I stand here in one place with a heavy load on my head, I am not doing any work. Now machines. Now coming to machines, we all know that there are many machines used in our daily lives to make work very easy. Now let us come to some particular type of machines used in science to make things very easily done. Machines are tools that make our work easier. Knives, a pair of scissors, bottle openers, sewing machines and washing machines are examples of machines we use in our everyday life. You know, knives for cutting, scissors also for cutting clothes and paper, bottle openers for opening the lid of bottles, sewing machines and washing machines are all machines that help us to make our work easier, our day-to-day life easier. And there are many other machines like the grinding machine, the mixer. These all are machines that make things very easily done for us. Some machines are simple tools. They are called simple machines. A lever, a pulley, an inclined plane and a wheel and axle are examples of some simple machines. Now a lever, a pulley, a wheel and axle, an inclined plane. These are all simple machines. Now what is a lever? A lever is a machine which helps us open the lid of a tin or move a big and heavy stone easily. Thus, when we use a spoon to open the lid of a tin, we are using the spoon as a lever. So see the picture there? It shows using a tin cutter to cut open the lid of the tin. Same way when we use a big stick to move a big boulder or a big piece of rock, That stick acts as a lever. So that is one machine. The second one is pulley. Now pulley you must have seen in wells. When you want to pull water from the well, there's a round pulley at the top of the well, and rope is put to that well and then tied with a bucket at the end. You release the pulley with the rope and the bucket goes down, gets filled with water, and then you pull it up through the pulley. So that is also one simple machine. A pulley is a simple machine used to lift heavy things. For example, a pulley is used to lift water from a well. You can see that picture there. Inclined plane. Now inclined plane is something that is slanting, and if you want to carry things or push things up, you push it keeping an inclined plane, you will see things go up, pushed up very easily. A sloping surface used to push or pull a heavy load up is called an inclined plane. Wheel and axle, of course, wheel and axle you understand very well. Wheel found in bikes and cars. This type of simple machine is also used to move heavy objects. Almost all vehicles have wheels. So it's a simple machine. Example of a simple machine.
Wheel and axle, a simple machine. Wheels were one of the first tools to be invented by humans. However, a wheel alone is of no use. But when it is combined with an axle, it forms a simple machine called the wheel and axle and can be used in many ways. Let us learn more about this machine. Look at this boy trying to move a heavy wooden box on the floor. The ground is rough and the box just does not move on it easily. So what can the boy do to move the box to another place with less effort? It's simple. He can use the simple machine called wheel and axle and then move the box easily anywhere he likes to. This simple machine is made up of two parts. That is, a wheel and an axle. The axle is a straight rod which passes through the center of a circular disc called the wheel. When the wheel is rotated, the axle attached to the wheel also moves. Another way to use a wheel and axle is to rotate the axle, which in turn rotates the wheels attached to it, just like what you see here. Thus, a wheel and axle help to move heavy objects on the ground with less effort. And it also helps to lift heavy objects with little effort. A screwdriver is an example of a wheel and axle. When the round wheel-like handle of a screwdriver is rotated, the metal axe in front starts to rotate, and this arrangement can be used to open even a tightly fixed screw. A wheel and axle is also used to draw water from a well. In this case, when the axle is rotated, the wheel attached to it rotates. The rotating wheel winds the rope around it and helps to pull the bucket of water from the well with less effort. Aren't the wheel and axle the best friends ever?
All modern machines are combinations of these simple machines. So the wheel and axle, the lever, the pulley, the inclined plane are all the basic simple machines, and all modern machines are based on this basic machines. Now coming to energy. What is energy? We are able to do work only if we have energy. Energy is the capacity to do work. So in science, energy is defined as the capacity to do work. Thus, we use energy to lift or carry heavy objects. We also use energy when we walk, read, and even when we write. Right now, I'm teaching a lesson. I'm also using up energy, I am burning up calories in my body. So energy is the capacity to do work. Next page. There are various forms of energy: heat energy, light energy, sound energy, electrical energy, and chemical energy are different forms of energy. One form of energy can be changed into another form. You see, the solar energy that we get from the sun is changed into electrical energy once it is used in the house in electrical gadgets. Similarly, the wind energy runs many machines. The wind energy runs many machines. And water. Flowing water has a greater energy, that is hydroelectric power, that is used to run turbines and generate electricity. Sources of energy. The sun is the main source of energy on the earth. This energy is called solar energy. Plants use solar energy to make food. Solar energy is used to generate electricity. Wind energy is used to move windmills. Windmills are used to grind wheat and to generate electricity. Moving water has energy. This energy is used to generate electricity, known as hydroelectric projects. You must have learned about the Bhakranangal Dam. All these dams, they generate a lot of energy.
Sun as a natural resource. Why can't I go out and play? Because it is too sunny outside. I don't know why we have the sun. I want to live in a world without the sun, so that I could go out and play all day. Do you know that you can't live without the sun? Forget play. What? We just need air, water and shelter to live. My teacher had taught me so. Yes, but sun is a natural resource, which is equally important. How come sun is a natural resource? Anything from the nature that gives us energy is called a natural resource. Sun gives us light and heat energy. It is called solar energy. Therefore, the sun is a natural resource. How do we use solar energy? We use solar energy for drying things. We need it to see during the daytime. Sun is important for all of us to be healthy. Animals too absorb light from the sun. Do you know what plants do with sunlight? Make food? Yes, and this process is called photosynthesis. Here, do you know what this is? This is a solar cell. A solar cell is used to convert light energy to electricity. This electricity can be used to light our homes, street lights, and for traffic signals. And have you seen these panels on top of buildings? They are made of solar cells, and they provide hot water and sometimes electricity too. Solar energy can be used to cook food too. Really? Yes. Cookers can cook and heat food efficiently. And I thought only plants make food with solar energy.
With this, we come to the end of the lesson. Now, let's go on to the question answers. On page 193. 1. Tick the correct answer. 1. The push or pull acting on a body is called force. 2. To move a heavy stone, we can use a lever. 3. The type of machine that all vehicles have is a wheel and axle. 4. The energy of the sun is called solar energy. B. Write T for the true statements and F for the false statements. Force cannot change the shape of an object. It is not true always, but sometimes it is able to change the shape of an object. Like the piece of modeling clay. I told you, when you make an apple, you need force to change it and make it a mango. 2. Work is done when you lift a book. True. 3. A spoon can act as a pulley. False. 4. Wind does not have any energy. False. 5. Plants use the energy from water to make food. No. They use the energy from the sun. C. Answer the following questions. Explain the different kinds of force. You have muscular force, force of gravity, and force of friction. 2. Work. Define work done. What is work done? Work is done when a push or a pull moves an object. Work is done when a push or a pull moves an object. Name the different type of machines and their uses. Now you have a lever that is used in the opening of a lid of a tin. The spoon is the lever. Then you have the pulley in lifting water from a well. Then inclined plane to pull a heavy load up a slope. And then wheel and axle. In almost all vehicles have this wheel and wheels. Now the various sources of energy are solar energy from the sun, wind energy from the wind, and water energy from the flow of moving water. Then you have chemical energy and you have electrical energy. Next page, life skills. Tick the statements that indicate how we can save electricity. 1. Switch off the lights and fans when leaving the room. Yes, of course. 2. Use electrical gadgets only when necessary. Yes. 3. Leave computers and televisions on standby mode. No, you should always switch it off when not in use. 4. Open the windows to get sunlight instead of switching on the lights. True. And 5th one, keep electrical gadgets in good condition. Yes, these are different things that you have to do if you have to conserve electricity. Next one, values for life. Ujjan saw an elderly lady walking to the bus stop with a heavy bag in her hand. Immediately he offered to carry the bag up to the bus stop. He also lifted the bag onto the bus and kept it beside the lady's seat. Did Ujjan do work as defined in science? Now, Ujjan has done work as defined in science, but this was done more out of love and respect for the old lady. Now, a hot question is there. Friction is a force that slows down the movement of objects. Bijon recorded the time it took for one wooden block to slide down 4 slopes. Each slope had a different surface. So once it is rolled down a carpet, it takes 15 seconds. Then it comes down glass, it takes 5 seconds. It comes down woods, it takes 10 seconds. It comes down rubber, it takes 12 seconds. Which surface causes the most friction with the block? Now the carpet causes the most friction. That is why it takes 15 seconds to come down. With this I come to the end of the lesson. Activity on page 195 is to be done by you. It is a riddle about the machinery. So you can read, check your book for some help and then complete the riddle. For your homework, please do A, B and C in the notebook and send to the school WhatsApp number. Thank you.